Today we're going to talk about what Lincoln Riley told Spencer Rattler about possibly taking in a transfer quarterback in 2019, and all that's coming up after the bump.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today we're going to talk about what Lincoln Riley told Spencer Rattler about possibly taking in another quarterback in 2019. Now, Spencer Rattler is competing at the All-American Bowl in San Antonio, and 24/7 gets to do that thing. They get to cover it. So one of the 24/7 reporters asked Spencer, hey, what do you think about, the transfer quarterback talk around who could be joining you in that quarterback room? And you've heard me talk about the names. Jalen has not put his name anywhere near the transfer portal, but he's been linked to Oklahoma. And it's been said before by Brandon Drum, by me, that, hey, perhaps Oklahoma would take him if he wanted to come. And why wouldn't you? He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He just happens to be the number 2 because the guy in front of him is one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the country. The other guy that has been linked to Oklahoma is none other than Georgia's Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields seems like he's going to go to Ohio State for everything that you hear and everything that makes sense, because you got to take into account both of those guys. We're talking about transfer targets, but Spencer Rattler kind of just said throw that all out, because what Lincoln told me was, I'm the last guy he's signing for 2019. I'm it. And there's not a lot of head coaches that would have told him that, and he said that. Lincoln Riley likes what he has in that quarterback room with Austin Kendall, with Tanner Mordecai, with Spencer Rattler. And I think that that's something that everybody needs to take into account, not when we're just talking about Spencer, but when we're talking about Austin Kendall. And Lincoln Riley reiterated at the end of the Orange Bowl, the day after, when he was talking to beat writers, one of the things that he told them was, look, Kendall has to take a lot of confidence from the way that Kyler Murray played in 2018. Why? Because he was neck and neck with that guy for the starting job. It was not a chasm. It was not a clear separation by Kyler Murray. It was neck and neck, and Lincoln had to make a judgment call between those 2 guys. So if Austin Kendall is anywhere near as good as what we've been led to believe he is, that's your starter against Houston on August 31st. And that's the guy that I think is going to start against Houston on August 31st. Just makes too much sense to me. He's been in the system for 3 years. He graduated early. You want to keep that guy on campus, and you got to try to make him happy if you want to keep him on campus, because he can transfer and play right away, and that's still on the table going into the summer for him if he doesn't like how spring ball goes. So you're kind of married to Austin Kendall at this point if you're telling Spencer Rattler that you're not going to go bring in a quarterback transfer in 2019, and you're certainly not going to sign another quarterback in 2019 because you signed the number 1 quarterback in the 2019 class. So that just makes a lot of sense to me that perhaps Austin Kendall is better than a lot of folks want to give him credit for, and my man Clark Beckham is going to get to see his dude play, is what I'm beginning to think. Most folks that don't know Clark Beckham, you need to go and check out that man's music. Absolutely amazing singer. Had the dude on while I was editing video in the background, and it made it into editing, so I had to reshoot an entire video because you could hear Clark serenading us all in the background, because apparently that's how I work. I need. Play that for your woman. I think you're going to be okay. Clark's got your back on that. That's your wingman there. But Austin Kendall, I think, is going to be the starter in 2019. Makes a lot of sense. And he'll have a lot of tools at his disposal with this 29 recruiting class and the guys returning like C.D. Lamb, like Charleston Rambo, like Grant Calcaterra, like Trey Sermon, Kennedy Brooks, T.J. Pledger has a year under his belt. It should be fun, but it might not be if Austin Kendall doesn't turn out to be the guy that Lincoln Riley says he is. We'll just have to wait and see. But if he isn't, is it the end of the world? No, because a lot of folks thought that Tanner Mordecai could be the guy, because what we saw out of Tanner Mordecai, limited as it was, we liked. He could spin it. The moment wasn't too big for him. I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek because he came in mop-up time. We don't know if the moment's going to be too big for Tanner Mordecai. But anybody that saw the dude play at Waco Midway will tell you he's a gamer. They love what he has. They think he has this thing that Baker Mayfield has. I don't know what they're talking about yet, because only Baker Mayfield has had that thing that Baker Mayfield has. Maybe it's just that the dude knows what to do in winning time, which would make him a lot more like, Reggie than Baker, but Baker knew what to do with winning time. I guess my point is, comparing a guy to Baker is not just comparing his ability to be accurate. You're also comparing his whole psyche, his whole like the way that he sees the world. The lens for which he sees the world has to be like Baker, which is, I'm the best there ever was and I piss excellence, which is true, but not a lot of people have the moxie to go through life like that. And to put that on a guy like Tanner Mordecai, I don't necessarily think is fair. Now, also is Spencer Rattler, for which I know there's a bunch of y'all that think ought to be starting as a true freshman in 2019 because you've seen what Trevor Lawrence did, and you saw that true freshman lead his team to a national title. Why not the best quarterback in the 2019 class? Well, Trevor Lawrence ain't regular, and I'm not saying that Spencer Rattler isn't as good or couldn't be better or is just bad. I'm saying Trevor Lawrence and what he had at Clemson is different. Number one, Trevor Lawrence had a top defense, like literally the best defensive line and one of the best, if not the best defenses in college football to back him up. Spencer Rattler doesn't have that. Okay, so it would be on him to win games. Trevor Lawrence could have a bad series. He could have 2 bad series. He could have 5 because Brent Venables was going to get him the ball back. So that's one to keep into mind when you talk about a true freshman. Also, with the kind of talent that you're returning, you don't really want to put that into a true freshman quarterback's hands. Now, the counterpoint to that is the experience will hold him up. That's what's going to do it. No. Again, not regular. What is regular is that a true freshman just doesn't know what to do with all of that, and there's a way for which those players at Oklahoma are used to functioning and operating, and Spencer just not be there because he's so young, and he's arriving in June. So he won't have that spring ball to get himself acclimated. He won't be able to put on weight. He'll be able to put on weight. He won't be able to put on weight in Bennie Wiley's weight room. It's just different. And it's really difficult to get across. Well, it's not difficult to get across. I hate when people say that. Look, college athletic environments are different than your high school football environment. I don't care where you went to high school football or where you went to high school or where you played high school football. You could have gone to IMG Academy for all I care. It's different. It's classes. It's meetings. It's also, this is what you eat. This is where you eat it. This is how hard you lift because you haven't lifted like this before in your life. You haven't been conditioned like this before in your life. There's an adjustment period. Not everybody can walk into it and be okay. And I think Spencer Rattler deserves the redshirt year if you give him the redshirt year like you gave Tanner Mordecai the redshirt year. So, yeah, they're all going to be up for the job, and I'm sure they're all going to get opportunities to win it. But come August, I think Austin Kendall's going to separate. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.